I'm here at the entrance to the pagoda. I didn't capture the front view of my entrance because GoPro number 1 shut down in the heat again. It completely froze in, I assume because it's so hot today and it's out in the sun. Or who knows why. GoPros have a life of their own. They do what they do. Anyway, this one shut down. So I didn't capture my arrival or what I said. And it is kind of interesting here because there's actually a lot of soldiers here. As soon as I drove in through the entrance, I spotted on the right a whole series of army trucks. And they're parked under the trees over there. And there were soldiers everywhere. And as I drove up, there was one soldier sitting in a little plastic chair over here with a temperature gun. So he had to, I assume, I didn't know, but I assume he had to check my temperature before I could go into the pagoda complex. The why soldiers are monitoring entrance to a temple, I couldn't tell you. But I wasn't going to just drive by the guy. A lot of big guns around. I'm not going to just zoom past the soldiers. And I had to go right by him, so I pulled up beside him on my scooter, and he got up and came towards me and did the temperature check. And I asked him with sign language, you know, do I need to sign in? Do I need to check in? Something else? And he says, no, that's it. You know, just go on in. So I'm here now, and I guess actually you can see an army truck behind me right there. I've seen a lot of Humvees and things like that driving up and down the road, actually, or I saw one anyway. And 2 guys just came back in a Humvee, and they piled out of the Humvee with bubble milk teas. You know, so they went out for a supply run, I guess, to get a snack. So I'm here now, and it doesn't look like there's a whole lot down here at the bottom, but I'll take a little stroll around here first, and then I'll find the trail leading up to the top. A group of 3 people just showed up in a Toyota, in a car, visitors like me, and they're on their way up to the top of the trail, I guess. It's already very nice here, just because of the large number of trees surrounding me. Big tree, a whole bunch of them right beside me. 2 of them there, 2 of them here, 3 of them. Yeah, nice relaxing spot. Oh. And there's a machine for traveling too. That can take you places where my scooter can't, that is for sure. Look at the size of those tires. It's a big boy. Oh, oh, I see. I saw all these tents and all these shoes. I was wondering what is going on here. I thought maybe there was a celebration or a festival, but these would be soldiers. So soldiers are sleeping in their tents in this shrine area right there. That's interesting. Yeah, as you can see, there's some of the army fatigues, camouflage clothing. Oh, there's a lot going on down here at the bottom, a lot more than I thought. And there's a map and a signboard over there on the left, so I'll head over there in a minute. But first thing is to climb up to the bell, if the stairwell is open. Oh, there's all sorts of objects around here. So we got a large gong, small gong, and then a series of bells. 5 of them. Let's walk up to the next floor. Oh, the stairs here are made of wood. Wow. Seems kind of fancier and more cared for than temples that I've seen, like inside Mae Sot itself. And there's the The bell behind me, painted bright gold. Now we're overlooking the entrance. That's where I came in. And I do wonder whether the military presence is related to the pandemic because they're patrolling this stretch of the border along the Moy River. Or is it a normal military presence? And over here, very impressive Naga, some more statuary. And another walking Buddha, a gold one right at the base of the trail. But before I head that way, I'm going to go look at the boats. There's actually two interesting boats in a covered building over there. Let's go check those out. And the boats are made out of one solid piece of wood. So I would call them dugout canoes, each one made from a single tree. But of course, they're much larger than what I would think of as a canoe. So it's more like a dugout boat, both of them, very long. I can only imagine how heavy these things are. In Canada, when I went on wilderness canoe trips, you would often reach points where you have to portage, which means you can't go by water. So you pick up your canoe and walk with it to the next stretch of water and then carry all your backpacks at the same time. I can only imagine how many people would be required to carry a dugout this size. It must be so heavy. There's an interesting display of statuary at the front here. And offerings, as always, the drinks, Fanta this time. The bottles opened. And lactosoy, I don't know if that's an offering or someone just left it here. And a coconut. Oh yeah, it looks like the lactosoy is a part of an offering because there's one over here too in this section and another coconut. That's quite an interesting display of creatures too. A lot of elephants, different sizes, and garlands at the very front of the boat. That's kind of interesting. There's part of the offerings is a bottle of, I think that's Johnson's talc. Yeah, baby powder. Was that just left here or is it part of an offering? I thought just for a second it might be a sunblock. And I thought, I could use a bit of sunblock right now. But no, it's baby powder. And I wonder what this is all about. There's a piece of art here. Looks like a pencil or charcoal drawing of a young girl, a young woman, here inside the dugout. Man, that's huge. Can you imagine making one of these? The amount of work that goes into it. They actually have two stairways here at the bottom of the hill. And I think one stairway on my left goes all the way to the top, and there's a stairway here that just approaches a large Buddha statue. A very beautiful statue right here at the very bottom. Yeah. A lot of these, this ornamentation seems to be quite well cared for at this temple. Just the light fixture looks new and freshly painted. And there's the two guardian Nagas, one on each side, and the large Buddha image up at the top. But I noticed over here, underneath this roof, there's a photograph of the boulder at the top. the shrine where we're heading towards. And there it is there. This image kept reminding me of something, and I think it finally dawned on me. And it's that famous surrealist painting of the boulder floating in the sky. And who painted that? I want to say Matisse. Am I right about that? It was a surrealist painter. That reminds me very much of that surrealist painting. So before we go all the way up to the shrine, thought I would walk up these stairs to the Buddha image. It's so cool to be surrounded on both sides by the undulating bodies of the Naga. They're often portrayed as having legs and feet, sometimes not. So far, I don't think I've seen any feet on these two Nagas, but maybe they're here at the top. No, I don't see any feet along the way. And here is the large Buddha image. And again, I'm not talking about the GoPros too much, but it's kind of lucky that I have two of them now, because GoPro number 1 here is constantly conking out on me. It's freezing up. Could be the heat, could be the memory card, I'm not sure. And then it becomes frozen. And after I restart the camera, I have to pull the battery out and put it back in. And then it goes through this fairly long process where it says it is repairing the file. So whatever video I'd been shooting ends up getting corrupted when it freezes, and then it has to rebuild it. And so far it's rebuilt every file, so I haven't lost anything. But with a GoPro, that's something to think about. You're always at risk of losing the file. You don't know whether you'll end up with anything or nothing. And having this one and Armando down there mounted on the GoPro Max tripod, it's kind of nice having two cameras. So one is it's not like the videos I'm making here are so important, but always nice to have a backup of whatever it is you're working on. Let's start our walk up to the top of the shrine and find this boulder. And for encouragement for a walker, there's another one of these traveling Buddha images down at the bottom. He's pretty well kitted out as well. He's got walking stick, fancy walking stick this time, parasol, a bag, and a food pot. One thing I realized is that as the crow flies, I don't think we're very far from the gravel quarry and the other temple. It's actually just down there through the trees, I think. And I know that because I can hear the sound of the trucks and the gravel conveyor belts. Actually, I wonder if I get a more clear view down here through these trees. Maybe I'll get to see it from up at the top. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the gravel quarry over there. As I said, when I came here this time, I followed a completely different route. I went in a long loop to come here instead of the direct route. But yeah, I think that's the gravel quarry. Huh. There's a little platform part way up this hill, which is kind of interesting. Has a lot of exposed electronics. I assume this is some kind of a fuse box. Doesn't have a lock on it. Transformers and adapters, and I don't know what all this is. And perhaps this is part of the grounding system, the overall wiring, completely exposed as well. And I'm not about to touch those to find out whether they're hot. Yeah, a whole bunch of electronics up here. I would have thought all of this would be securely hidden in inside some kind of a metal box. I don't know what it's running either. This is way too much equipment just to be running a couple of lights up here. So then maybe there's some communication towers up at the top. And that might also explain the military presence. But also at this platform, there's a small cave. And of course, wherever there's a cave, someone is going to install a Buddha image of some kind. Oh, the cave actually goes deeper. Look at that. Oh, it's nice and cool in here. Turns out that cave behind the Buddha image doesn't go very far. It just goes in a few feet and then it stops. So there's nothing to explore there. Right here, though, there's a fork in the path. Not quite sure which way to go. I'm guessing, though, that going this way goes up. Oh, I can actually see a shrine up at the top there. I think that is the main lookout point up there on this path. But if I keep going straight, I think that is going to take me to the hanging rock, or the hanging boulder, I think is down there. So I think I'm going to go up to the top first, take a look around, and then I'll come back down and look at the boulder. I'm just guessing, though. There are some signs here, actually. Here are the signs. One pointing to the right, and then one pointing straight ahead. And there's the trail heading up to the right, and then there's the shrine up there at the top. I haven't seen the 3 other people yet that came up here before me, so maybe they're still at the shrine or down at the boulder. Getting close to the top. There's the main shrine just up ahead. Just have a few steps to go to get there. Nice, a very scenic location up here. We've got several different sets here. Little shrine there, one here up at the top, and then another one just over here where I'm looking into the sun. Oh, I finally get a close-up of one of these impressive hamsa, what I keep comparing to a phoenix. Let's go around to the other side and get it nicely lit up by the sun. Oh, it's a beautiful setting. Very nice in the afternoon with the sun going in the other direction. But right now, the sun is pointing over here, so that's where all the nice daytime lighting is taking place, off in that direction. Very nice setting. It's a bit hazy because it's midday, of course, but there's a view into Myanmar across the Mae River. Can't see the river, but it's there somewhere. And right down there, again, kind of obscured by the direct sunlight, there's the gravel quarry. You can see all the dust flying up into the sky. And you hear the rumble of the trucks and the conveyors. And there's Mae Sot off in the distance there. There are a couple of other small shrines here up at the top. I'm just going to go climb up this one that's right in front of me. And there it is there. And there's a little set of stairs, I think, that I can walk up. Oh, there's a... Yeah, I've seen that image before in different temples in Mae Sot, with the Buddha seated, his hand in a food pot and then looking upwards. And I'm sure that's from a story, or it has a symbolic meaning. Beautiful day again today, the bright blue skies. Oh, here's a interesting sign right here. Again, very nicely made out of wood, carved out of this large piece of wood. So a lot of care has gone into this set of temples here. It's quite important to somebody. Yeah, it's not very high, but you still have to be a bit careful going up here. Especially if you're a GoPro guy like me, you get distracted by the cameras. And there's no safety rails here, no guardrails. This reminds me of those stories you hear from time to time of people who fall off cliffs when they're taking a selfie because they'll get here on an edge and then forget they're on an edge, and then they hold up the camera like this and take a step backwards to frame it right, and over the edge they go. So I'm not going to do that. So there's the drop below me onto some very nasty looking rocks. Yeah, very nice view from up here. Be a lot nicer if it wasn't midday, but that's kind of the thing that I do lately. I always seem to be out exploring in the middle of the day. And down here I noticed that whatever is going on here, they have refrigerators and maybe the food, all kinds of things. I noticed this, he even put a cold beer out there on the carpet. So maybe this isn't military at all. Maybe it's part of the temple complex. So I'm going to carefully make my way down. Luckily for this kind of exploring, I'm not afraid of heights in any way. I actually enjoy them, like standing here looking down over that edge, or if I'm up on top of a 30-story building or something looking down over the edge, it doesn't bother me at all. I kind of like it. I like heights. Okay, gonna come back down. There's a sign at the base of this Buddha image, and I used my phone to get a translation of it. And it's not a perfectly clear translation, but it says something about sacred footprints here, and that there is a cover over them. So maybe this stone base is covering a set of sacred footprints and keeping them safe from erosion. And I also tried to do a translation with this sign over here at the base. And again, I couldn't make sense out of most of it, but part of it said something about how there are holy relics in the Chedi here. So holy Buddhist relics of some kind. So I'm going to walk back in this direction and see where I end up. I think I'm going to head this way first, head towards the front. A monk just came out from this other area to indicate that this is the way I should be going to get beautiful views. Starting to wonder whether this trail goes to the hanging rock and then goes all the way down to ground level again. That would explain why I haven't seen the other visitors. They may have come through here and then gone back in a different direction because I haven't passed them on the trail. Okay, let's continue along. Oh, a really nice trail. It's always nice to be on mud, like a hardened mud like this, as opposed to stone or concrete. It just feels nice somehow. It's a little bit softer on your feet. You can feel the difference. Fork in the trail. So I guess we'll go in that direction first. Another shrine or Chedi. As I always say, I'm not very familiar. I can never commit to memory the exact meaning of all the words like pagoda and Chedi and shrine and exactly the differences between them all. But that looks like that's another big viewpoint. There it is there. Chunk of rock right at the very top. And there appears to be a cave over here. And there once was a platform here, I assume for people to sit and enjoy themselves, but it's most of it has rotted away. I tried to translate this sign, but nothing came up that I could make any sense of. It didn't come up in English at all, except that top word was translated as Dala. Daala, and the rest of it. There were no words at all that I could make out. But it was just describing this place. Well, that cave does not go very deep. So I can't fit in there. Oh, it's not. Oh, I thought this was a cave as well, but it's not. It's just a passageway. Takes you through to the other side. Oh, look at this. Oh, just a little hiding spot back here. Huh. And then kind of a passageway opens up in that direction too. I was thinking that this would be a fun place to come with kids and they could all run around and play in this area. But as soon as I had that thought, I remembered just how sharp these rocks were. So I don't know if you can see that, but these edges here, that is practically a knife edge and knife points. I mean, this is like the most dangerous rock you can get. And I don't know if you want children running around back here playing, you'd have to have them in a lot of protection. Yeah, there's a very good example of the sharp edges and points of this rock. Huh. And I don't think it goes much farther in that direction. So let's head to the top. And there it is up there above me. There's the stairs over there. And just underneath the shrine, there's this hole, goes all the way through the rocks, out the other side. And every time I see something like this, I can't help but reflect that every single person that has come here, every tourist, local or foreign, has taken the same image, whether on video or as a photograph. We can't resist openings through rock like that, like a little window. Everybody has to take a video or a picture. Man, look at the roots. They are going crazy here. Huh. Check this out. There's a root going all the way. It's a root or a branch. I guess it depends what direction it's going. But it goes all the way up here. And it dives into that hole, into the cliff. And it pops out on the other side there. Look at that. And then, oh my God. Look at that. It zooms all the way up there and keeps going and going. What is that? Well, when I get up there, I'll have to look down and see what it's connected to. Huh. Look at that. All the way down. Goes into the rock and then comes out through that hole down into the ground. And then there's another set over there. All right. Whew. Let's find our way out of here. Oh yeah, that's right. I came through there, didn't I? Oh no, I came through here. Okie doodle, that is some construction there. This is the underside of the stair, the cement stairs going up there. Huh. Kind of rough work, but hopefully there's enough steel and supports in there to hold it up for an hour more just to get me up and down again. More fun with the roots. We've got a triple set coming out of the ground here, and look what this one on the left does. Curves up to that tree and then spirals in a death grip all the way up to the top. Isn't that crazy? Wow. Imagine if you had a time lapse on that and you watched the entire growth process, zooming all the way up to the top, wrapping around as it goes. And there's the temple right behind it. As I said, I'm at a complete loss as what words to use. Do I call this a temple, a shrine, a pagoda, a chedi? I have no idea. Just climbing up the stairs. You can hear how hollow it is underneath me. Those couple of footsteps sounded like I was walking over a cave or an empty room. Let's see. Hear that echo? So you can tell it's quite a thin structure underneath me. But as I've noticed other times, this is quite a well cared for site. Even these handrails, very nicely painted, freshly painted, and not left to just rust. So yeah, whoever's taking care of this temple, spending a lot of time and care doing it. Getting close to the top. They even used some bamboo here to support this structure. I sure hope that bamboo is not meant to offer any real support because it's not strong enough. But I don't know, looks like there's a lot of bamboo has been put here as if it's part of the structure itself. It's a little bit concerning. Yeah, look at it. It has all this bamboo cross beams. And I know bamboo is strong, but I don't think it's meant to serve as steel in a cement construction. Oh yeah, we're getting a very nice view in that direction. And there's the view from the top. And there's a set of stairs, leading down from the other side. It's still, it goes up here to the same place and goes back to the same place, but it just comes out in a different direction. Oh. Yeah. Boy, oh boy, I don't know about that. It does have a cement pillar here on the corner, but the rest of it is being supported by this bamboo. And hopefully the bamboo is just an afterthought. And this pillar is strong enough on its own, but I don't know, huh? All right, head down the stairs on the other side. I got a little bit quieter there because there was a monk meditating at the very top, and I didn't want to disturb him with my babbling, my blither blather. And he was certainly very disciplined in his meditation because he definitely heard me on the way up, and I was speaking quite a bit before I saw him there. And he never opened his eyes and never looked around to see who it was. There's the temple from this side. And that odd cement stairway supported by bamboo. All right, let's get down. Oh. A handy bench right here to rest for a bit. Armando has been doing a very good job. And there's GoPro number 1, and this is where I'm sitting, right underneath the temple, or the shrine, or the pagoda, or the chedi, whatever it is. In fact, Armando has been doing better than my GoPro. Maybe it's younger and fresher, but my Hero 7 has been freezing on me all day today and just shutting down for no reason. I think it's been heating up. Oh, and Armando, it never happens. Turn it on and away it goes. So it's more reliable than mine. I may end up having to make Armando GoPro number 1. Usurp you. Well, time for a drink, of course. And there appears to be a trail going down the hill here. So I have a choice between going down the hill on this trail or returning to the main temple and then going down the stairs to where I parked my GoPro, or my scooter. Funny thing with me and water, I find it so difficult to drink warm water. I have to force myself to drink it. It doesn't want to go down my throat. If it's cold, it just goes straight in. But when it gets hot and warm, actually I find it difficult to drink. So time to check my map and see what taking this trail would entail, if I can figure that out. Alright, where's Google Maps? There it is. Oh, crazy story. I did laundry again recently. I discovered this brand new laundromat in Mae Sot. Brand new machines, brand new washing machines, brand new dryers. And I thought, wow, I'll try that place out. I tried it out and the place was horrible. It barely works at all. And the machines had almost no water in them. So all the laundry soap that I put into my laundry, none of it got drained away. So all of my clothing now is soaked in laundry soap. So this little hand towel, for example, it's horrible because it's just filled with laundry soap. And when I wipe myself, it's like I'm leaving soap residue on my face and it's stinging my skin. I have to find a good washing machine in Mae Sot. Of course, my guest house has one. I've just never tried it. Oh, look at that. Okay. And if I aim my... Oh yeah, it looks like that trail aims right back to where I came from. Okay. Oh, I'm actually dizzy because of the effort of... I'm supposed to be breathing hard now to fix my oxygen deficit, but because I'm talking into the GoPro, I'm not breathing properly, so I'm not oxygenating my blood enough. So I think I have to stop talking, sit here and rest for a while and let my body catch up. I decided to work my way back along the trail to the main shrine there. And then I came down the steps down here to the intersection, or the fork I should call it. And I believe in this direction, the path takes me to the balancing rock or the hanging rock. And I didn't think of it at the time, but the path from up at the top where I was sitting on the bench, it probably went to the hanging rock. That's where it would go. But for some reason that never occurred to me. So I just came back down this way. And I'm going to go to the hanging rock along here. I think it's over here anyway. To be honest, I almost completely forgot That's why I came here. I came here because of the balancing rock. And I was all set just to walk down to my scooter and drive back into Mae Sot. Completely forgot about that I hadn't even seen the balancing rock here yet. So I'm gonna walk along this trail, and I assume that's where we'll end up. And in just a few seconds, I've arrived. It's not very far at all along this trail. There's a viewing platform. And then, yeah, there's the balancing rock right there. Oh yeah, and I think that would have been the trail coming down from where I was sitting on the bench. There's a nice Buddha image here and an altar display. And just over there, at long last, the balancing rock. And as I said, I saw some photographs where it had a scaffolding, and I wondered whether the scaffolding was holding it up. But it was probably just for painting. Because now there's no scaffolding here. They really are quite special. It's easy to understand why there would be the instinct to build a shrine when you find one of these. Looks very imposing up above me, I'll have to say that. Can't imagine the weight of that thing if it ever started to move. Look at that. It's just kind of unusual to see a rock this size just sort of in isolation like that, where you can see the entire shape of it. You see a lot of boulders just lying on the ground that are obviously very big, but you don't really get the sense of the scale because it's just lying flat on the ground or something. To see it balanced like this is quite a different experience. Yeah, look how small the base is too, especially from this angle. It's sitting on quite a narrow perch. And looking out over the countryside. So that's a very nice image. With a balancing rock, and then the pilgrim Buddha images on the right there, and the countryside in the background. And I think this is a good place to end the video. I'll be going down the trail right back to the same parking area to get my scooter, and then driving back into Mae Sot along very familiar roads, so there's no point to describing the route as I follow it. Thanks for coming along with me. A pretty enjoyable day, as it turned out, riding through the countryside a little bit, finding a very interesting temple and the hanging rock. Thank you very much to the viewer who left the name of this temple in a comment along with a Google Maps pin to help me find it. Otherwise, I don't think I would have tracked it down. So that was very helpful indeed. Thank you very much. And I will see everyone in the next video.